89% of people who retire at age 55 die within 10 years of retirement. When you plan for retirement, it's like planning for an early death. It means to take out of service. That's one of the definitions of retirement. The path to a long life and economic independence isn't retirement. Let me show you how to get both. Okay, first I want to give a shout out. Derek Coburn, one of my good friends, and he's in the financial space, is writing a book. So if you're going to dive in deep on this topic, if you're considering retirement, you're not quite sure what to think, he's doing massive research and he's an amazing thinker. But on this video, let's just start with a test. What would it look to retire, right? What would that look like for you? What would you stop doing that you're doing now? What things would you actually miss doing that you're doing now? So one of the best things that you could do for this test is just take a 2-week vacation. If in that 2-week vacation, you find yourself dreading coming back to your life right now and the work that you do, you're in the wrong career. You're in the wrong profession. You have the wrong business. See, when I went to Italy, I spent a few months there, and I loved it. It was great. But there's a certain point where I was like, there's only so many 4-hour dinners. There's only so many days we could, swim in the pool. Like, I was excited to contribute to society. That was awesome to relax and rejuvenate and really connect with my boys, because I have a buddy, Jim Shields, has a company called 18 Summers. And I'm like, hey, my kids at the time were 10 and 12. And I'm like, we only have 18 summers total together. That means 6 left for one of them before they're 18 and out of the house. We'll still hang out. But where I had a chance to immerse myself. Now, if I was waiting for retirement, I'd miss out on that memory. But beyond that, what I learned was that I was excited about the work that I was engaged in. Now, I also figured out there were some things I was doing in my business that I didn't love doing, and so I learned how to delegate at another level and find the right talent so I could do the speaking, the writing, the content creation, the really vision level things, and I gave up the admin and the sales and some of the one-on-one coaching, right? So, how can you tell if your life isn't fulfilling you? It's really just about taking a break and seeing if you want to come back into that. And retirement can now be redefined into something that you retire from the things that you hate now, not retirement from a vision or a purpose or an end goal, because really retirement is kind of a low bar. It's almost planning for bankruptcy within your family. Okay, at one point I'm going to stop contributing to the family, and then I'm just going to start taking money from everything that we've earned over time, and you put yourself at risk, because if the market doesn't cooperate, you either lower your lifestyle or you drain your account. Right? So what instead of just retiring, which my dad was a coal miner, probably really good to retire from that, what do you really want to do in your life? And what if you had a purpose that lived beyond you, where you just said, I always want to focus on growing that, being part of that, and as a byproduct, I'll do the things that I want to do, and over time just give up the things I don't want to do, which is about building the right infrastructure. So retire from those things that you think no one else loves to do, but there's weirdos out there that are willing to do them. So here's the 3 steps to redefine retirement and create economic independence with a new mindset. The first, I just want you to close your eyes, unless you're driving, right? And I want you to just think about this. What if you had an extra $10 a month coming into your account every month, no matter what you do? Just every single month. What would you do? Now it's odd. What if there was another zero? What if it was $100 a month? Every single month, if you did nothing different, it just came into your account, it was there for you to do whatever you want, what would you do? Now let's add another zero. $1,000 every single month, the rest of your life coming in, what would you do? What would you do differently, right? Now, what if that went to $10,000 a month? $10,000 a month every single month coming into your life. What changes? What would you do? Right? Let's jump up. What if it got up to $100,000? $100,000 every single month coming into your life. What would you do? What if it went to $1 million every single month, not every year, $1 million every single month, not as a lump sum one time, but every single month, $1 million is coming in? I mean, heck, what if you had $1 billion? See, that question haunted me, because I thought, well, if I had $1 billion, I wouldn't even know what to do with it. And at what point, as I went through this exercise, did you shift from focusing on yourself to focusing on others? What you could provide for yourself versus what you could provide for others. And see, this is a key to wealth. because what you transferred into was value creation. And I call this the abundance index. At what point do you feel like there's enough abundance that you've taken care of yourself and you have more to give others? Retirement takes you out of the world and what you can contribute. It's the opposite of the abundance index. It's a selfish state of mind where, we're only thinking about how we can stop doing things. Now, what work are you doing that you can stop doing? What purpose could you start embracing? And ultimately, we have so many problems in the world. How can you become a solution rather than siphoning off that cash, rather than leaving your family into financial bondage, rather than not having a purpose of what you do on a daily basis, and really start taking those mini vacations along the way, developing those hobbies, and finding time for yourself so that you've filled yourself up with self-care, but you don't get selfish that you lose value creation and delivering service and solving problems for the world. Okay, so that's the first thing with this mindset. The second thing is really about improving relationships. Who are you spending your time with? How can you spend time with the people that you love the most doing the things that you love the most? And less time doing the things that you hate in the name of time for money, in the name of sacrifice so that one day you could retire. See, let's forget that low bar of retirement and just say, what's the best you have to offer the world? What's your sole purpose? What are your values? What is your purpose from a standpoint of your passions and your abilities? And having that be the container you live in, so it's not something you retire from, it's something you grow into. It's something that is beyond what you know how to achieve today, but it calls to the very best that you are. And those relationships that support that help you to see that, because sometimes we discount what we do more than anyone else. We go, oh, that's no big deal. Or anyone else can do that. But guess what? No one else can do your sole purpose quite like you. There's people that have similarities, but that combination of who you are doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. And if you retire from living that, it becomes a miserable place, because what is your reason for getting up? What is your reason for being excited? When my grandfather died, my grandmother died within a year and a half, and she was extraordinarily healthy. She'd just been approved for insurance a decade before for life insurance, which is pretty tough in your 70s. And then when he died, the reason she died shortly after is she got him dressed in the morning. She put out his pills. She made him every meal. She told him how to drive. And all of a sudden, when that was gone, she lost a lot of that purpose, and that starts to have an impact on our health. Third is, how can you figure out the most unique value creation that you have and have that be in a consistent way that provides a lot more joy than drudgery, that provides a lot more engagement rather than retirement. And so what is value creation to you? To me, value creation is when I'm bringing out the right insights and concepts to help people navigate the financial world, to avoid the landmines, to embrace a life that they love, to be profitable up front so they can win first then play, that they can become the drivers of their success based upon their definition of success, and ultimately that 1 million people become liberated to become economically independent so they can change their family's financial future, their family's destiny, and live the life they love. So enjoy your life now by not retiring from your job, but from your toxic relationships, from work without vacations, and having your mantra be sacrifice. Now you have the knowledge to transform your thoughts into profits and build that life that you love. If you want more on this topic, check out our series on soul purpose.